Hi, Akita here. I do not have a tutorial for you today. Instead, we're just going to have a little chit chat about AI a little bit. And I have a slide today, which if you watch any of my videos, I'm not rocking out with those slides usually. Like I'm just kind of off the cuff, just let me flow and just show you something really cool and kind of go from there. However, every now and then, I got to break out the slide deck to keep myself organized. What sparked this? It all started off with a comment. A comment and honestly, I figured that such a comment was going to happen at some point in time. Once I started my YouTube channel, I was just waiting to see like who it was going to be. Some random person from the internet down in my comments making a comment about, my use of AI. So I did the one, like it actually, this is what's funny. It happened recently. I did like an actual directed drawing tutorial. Like I'm showing people how to use AI to make directed drawings and go ahead and sell it with calendars or whatever, lots of use cases for it. And this person basically popped up and said, that I was being unethical and that because it didn't take me that long to actually make it, not very much work or what have you, that I shouldn't take money or charge people real money. And then someone like chimed in like to co-sign and said, yeah, and those people who buy, clip art from other people, then they're gonna like that's going to be bad because they're going to lose money. And then like the people making the stuff with AI, they're going to go ahead and just like charge less and people are going to lose money. You know what? I don't even know if that person sounds like that. Let me stop. I don't even know if that person sounds like that. I do not. They know how I sound because I'm obviously here on YouTube, but I do not know if they sound like that. So let me stop. But there's all this like accusations, and some of that stuff I'm like, okay, so that's not true, at least not for myself. I cannot control what other people do, and I'm going to say this real quick, that there were plenty of spammers scamming folks and putting forth low quality stuff on Etsy and Teachers Pay Teachers before even AI even hit the scene. Now, granted, I will say that AI has made it easier for people to go ahead and spam the crap out of Teachers Pay Teachers or something of that nature because you can mass create stuff pretty quickly and pretty easily. It doesn't take much at all. However, that is not how I roll. And if you're someone who's in my Facebook group or in my membership, Printables That Pop, I believe in actually creating very high quality products. If it's not high quality, if I wouldn't buy it myself, if I wouldn't sell it to one of my colleagues, I'm not creating it. And I don't encourage anyone else to create something that is low, subpar either. But of course, this person doesn't know that about me. A lot of assumptions being made, or maybe they just freaking hate AI, and I can't do anything about that. But I do want to go ahead and put this up, not for the people who made the comments down below, up in my comments, making comments about me and what they think about me, but more so for the people who would see something like that and be discouraged. I don't want you to be discouraged, and I want you to kind of think through my thought process here and make your own informed decision about if you want to go ahead and use AI to make your actual quality products and things of that nature. Okay, has to be high quality. One, two, has to be above board because in Etsy you have to list if your actual product is used with AI. Of course you do. Yeah, it's there. Do that. Follow the terms of use, no matter where you happen to be on the actual platform. But I can tell you this right now: there are lots and lots and lots of people, and I know them, that are making bank, that are making good money on these different platforms, and they're actually listing, "Hey, AI was used. Hey, AI is used." And guess what? The consumers don't care. They're still buying because the end product, when it's a good quality product, people are happy. So what was this person worried about or accusing me of? AI is not real work. Yeah, I've heard that before. It's unfair to other artists. Also heard that. Doesn't it just make a whole lot of junk? Yes, it can. I don't disagree with any of this to a certain extent. I've heard them, and in certain contexts, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It just kind of just depends. So let's break this down. Okay, it's not real work. I beg to differ on that one. Okay. Very little work went into making the actual product. All right, so you saw phase 0.25. You didn't see the first like 2 months that I spent like prompting stuff out, or the actual work that I've done over the past 2 years that led me to the actual moment where I could say, hey, I bet I can go ahead and get this output if I did it like this. Stuff just doesn't come out of our brains by osmosis. You have to practice the stuff. It has to be practiced, otherwise you kind of lose it. Now, in terms of the truth, it's about the skill set. It's not about a clock. So what if or if the actual generation took like 5 seconds? All the work behind it, That's the payoff thereof. I couldn't have gotten that had I not had the experience that I had beforehand. Now people see my actual work, they go ahead and make up their own prompts based off of that because they're copying off of my base, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. And they go ahead and make something else that might be better, hopefully better. I love it when my students outdo me and stuff, both my fifth graders and the adults that I'm actually working with. But let's look at this. Plumber fixed a huge leak by tapping on one pipe for 5 seconds. He charged $500. Why? Because the work, it wasn't about the 5 seconds of work, it was about the years of knowing exactly where to tap. So at this point, I'm tapalicious when it comes to prompts, certain prompts. I'm tapalicious, okay? So, and other people, not just me, are also getting their tap, tap, tap on as well. If you get what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm throwing down. That's the gist. And maybe that'll be you. Maybe if you're someone who wants to go into digital product creation, you want to go into AI, get your study on. Join a membership like mine. Join someone else's membership, whatever. I don't care. Do it right. Do it ethically. Make certain that you're being above board. Follow all the rules, and you will still make bank. Let's move on. It's harder than it looks. Okay, the average person look from the outside looking in, AI is the devil. It's the devil. Whatever, you don't know anything about it. It's harder than what it actually looks. Looks like I spent a good 2.5 months prompting, testing, templating, going back and reworking stuff for my epic escape room challenge. I literally showed people how to use AI to make a beautiful escape room, elimination style escape room. It went great. Taught lots of people, had lots of folks saying that they had taken many different courses before and had never actually finished an escape room. But my superpower is taking very complex things and disseminating it and distilling it into its simplest form, as simple as it can be, because escape rooms, that's some next level complexity. So that's why it took me so daggone long to make sure everything was going to be working right. But that's my superpower. I can take something very complex and distill it until it's something very easy for most people to digest. That is my niche, my thing. That's what I do, either with fifth graders or with adults. And so it's harder than what it looks. But either way, it's just like, all right, let's do another example. So in my actual building, I'm the one that most people go to for curriculum. Okay, if something has to be created, like they're knocking on my door. That's kind of that's like my thing, what I'm known for. It's not just me. That's like about a couple other folks I can think of too that like really are into it. And they're like, okay, let me get up in this and make something phenomenal. There's other people like that too, but that's what I'm known for. So if we're gonna go by this logic, it only took you 5 seconds or whatever, so does it count as real work? Heck yes, it counts as real work. Okay, I can go ahead and whip out this worksheet or this actual lesson plan in 15 minutes where it may have taken someone else an hour or 2 hours. Doesn't mean the actual value isn't there. It's about the quality of the output that we're looking at. And that's what AI gives us. It enables us, if you're using it correctly, to get a good quality output. Let's look at artists. Okay. Unfair competition, worried that human artists would stop creating their stuff. I don't want human artists to stop creating their stuff. As a matter of fact, there are people that I still buy from on Teachers Pay Teachers and on Etsy because I like their stuff so much. Could I make their stuff myself? Heck yes. Do I like their style? Absolutely yes, I do. Will I still spend money on their stuff? Heck yes, I will. Absolutely. The people who have actually developed their actual develop their audience and they've been doing good quality stuff this entire time, there hasn't been like kicking out trash, they will maintain their actual audience. Yes, they will, absolutely. But people will buy other stuff too. There's more than enough business to give to everybody, including the people who are actually creating with AI, as long as they are doing it the right way to make a high quality product. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now let's go into folks who are just like, I just hate AI and the. Let's look at it like this. Tools always change, okay? Now, if you're just hating on me, it's not even a business thing. Listen, once again, there's enough business for everybody. Let's go with that. Some people are going to want to go ahead and stay with like the legacy, what I call the legacy Teachers Pay Teacher folks. I often buy from them. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with folks buying from folks who actually use AI to create their actual product, as long as it's a good quality product. Cameras. Oh, the painters were like giving them all kinds of hate. I'm certain of it. We are literally living in an age where we're literally seeing this turnover of tools and folks getting seriously pissed off about it. It is a thing. Computers came along. Typists are like, oh, what the heck is going on? It's just a tool. AI is a tool. Matter of fact, Photoshop is up here all AI'd out. Procreate is all AI'd out, and so forth. I mean, it's everywhere. So you're just like, okay, so because I use too much AI, then like I'm just not, whatever. It came out of my brain. It came out of my studies and my skill set. And if you're a digital product creator or some sort, it'll be coming out of your brain too eventually, because everyone always starts with base prompts, but then you hook up with somebody, you start like kind of collaborating, you see what they do, you get new ideas. That's hive mind mentality, and that's can be a beautiful, beautiful thing. I've gotten good ideas from my students have gotten good ideas from me with AI and otherwise. So we kind of have to be able to be adaptable, and we also have to consider something else too. Oh, hold on, let me go back on that. Actually, no, let me move on to this. It just makes low quality junk. There's lots of low quality junk out there. It's not just AI low quality junk either. It's human being made AI, or not AI, but human made junk. And that was an issue way back before even AI came up on the scene. I will stand by that. It is a thing. Okay. Now, I have never been a proponent of saying slap it all down there, create 100 worksheets and slap it on a teachers pay teachers. Some people do that. I even see it myself, but I've never said to go ahead and do that and to spam online stores or do that whole race to the bottom thing where you have like 100 worksheets, but it's just like 99 cents up on Etsy. I would never, no way, because I'm not trying to actually jack up the actual market value of anything. Like, I want everyone to get a fair price for what they have done. Now, my fair price in terms of what I've done and what I've created, it might look different than someone who actually just was, pecking away at PowerPoint or doing a Canva thing on your own all day. But Canva got AI all over the place. Whatever. Anyway, the bottom line being is this. I would never propose, hey, go ahead and charge 90 cents for this 100 sheet, worksheet, whatever. And I would hope that none of my students would do that either, because I've never encouraged that. As a matter of fact, I've actively discouraged that. And when it comes down to it, you want to also think about the creator. Who's actually doing this? Okay, so if you're the kind of person who's like me and you want to make certain that you're creating something that you can be proud of, that people can actually purchase and be happy with, you're going to be careful about what you actually create. Do we make mistakes? Yes. Whether we have AI or we don't have AI. Yes, that's an issue. That's a problem. You have to go ahead and double check stuff, check your spelling, all that kind of good stuff. But it doesn't necessarily mean that an AI, because you use AI, that it's going to be slop. That is not what that means. Now, if the person is thinking sloppy, then yes, their stuff will be slop, of course. But that's just not what I believe, and that's not what I teach. So the quality is in the hands of the user. I'm talking mess about typos. I discourage churn and burn tactics, where you like basically just throw up a whole bunch of stuff from like AI and like you're spending like $1 on it, and then like the actual stuff has not been spell checked and like the answers are wrong and everything sucks. I do not suggest that. I teach people to actually help people with quality products, to help people use AI to make quality products. That is what I do. Now, if you just hate AI, that's one thing. I can't say anything about that. But as far as like the whole thing, AI slap, etc., there are always unscrupulous people. Right now, probably someone on Wall Street is actually like robbing someone's freaking school and their pension. I don't know. Everyone in every particular facet of society, there are people that are going to misuse tools and do things wrong. All I can do is make certain that I put out there into the world that, hey, don't do the wrong stuff, do it the right way, and make certain that you do A, B, C, or D. Because if you don't, there's consequences. Do stuff that's above board. Follow the actual terms of use for whatever platform that you're selling on. I do. Hasn't been an issue for me. And you just make certain that you're trying to be above board, that you're treating people the way that you would want to be treated as well. What is AI? It's a tool. It is a tool, my friends. It is a tool. It is a tool. It is a tool. And it's a tool that is not going away. It is not. Should things be kind of like looked at in like yes, I hope indeed that certain laws are put in place for certain things with AI, because I think in some regards, especially with the image generation, I'm not even talking about like products, I'm just talking about with people to people, that the image generation has gotten a little bit out of hand in some regards, and I hope that like some policies come down with that, but I can only control what I can control. Something in my eye, sorry. and I'm rolling with what I can roll with as best I can. So it helps you create, but you are still the one with the vision and the 25. All right, so 25 years, that's me personally, of teaching experience that I bring to the table when I'm doing any kind of whatever, be it with AI or without AI. I'm bringing behind all my knowledge, all my experience with my students, how I know things are run, my love of curriculum, all the books I freaking read about curriculum before I even started messing with AI, all that comes with me. All of that knowledge is what I put into my membership in terms of especially the educational component. I do like two dual things where one is more educational focused and the one that is not so much so. But as far as the education, I'm bringing all hardcore all the stuff that I know, and I'm like, you want to do it this way because of A, B, C, D, because teachers are going to want to have E, F, G, H. And I know because I'm currently a teacher and I've done it for so long, and all my friends are for the most part teachers in the real world on Zooms and stuff. I have people that I know all over the world. But anyway, AI helps people share their ideas, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Having a conversation with someone saying, "Hey, I've had this idea for a book that I want to publish, and I didn't have the money to spend $1,000 on someone to do the actual illustrations, but I saw this prompt that you did, and I saw the way the image came out, and I want to use it to create the book." And I'm like, bet. Make that book, rock your work, like do it, girl. Make that book, publish that book, fulfill your dream, sell it. You know, teach someone a lesson. Let them, let someone buy it and read it to their child. Stuff like that saves time, creates opportunity. I'm a very busy person. I am. I work very hard at all of my jobs, and I have a family too that I like to hang out with, like to spend time with. My mother often needs me for things. She's getting older. She needs me for certain stuff that she didn't need me for when she was younger. And so AI helps me not just with image generation or product stuff, just across the board with different things to keep my life more stable, to keep me more balanced, or at least to attempt. I think balance is kind of a myth at this point in my life, but we try our best, right? We try our best. We do our date nights and our family nights and stuff like that. Last but not least, let's use this new tool to make amazing things, okay? It shouldn't be about humans versus AI. It's about what humans can create with AI and how we can adapt and change and make things work. Now, if you're not onto the adapt and changing and making things work, I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is this: you are going to get left behind by default. Most folks will get left behind unless you're someone in that category that you're going to specialize in something. Like if you're like, I don't want to do AI, like I got my whole audience on lock, or I'm going to build up my own audience and sell to these people who really only want human generated stuff and it's not involving AI, then you rock that out. I'm not even going to judge you. Do it. Like carve out your niche in the internet, on the web or whatever, and you sell your stuff. Matter of fact, I might come and buy some of your stuff, when it comes down to it, because I appreciate good work, whether it's AI made or if it's actually human made. I appreciate good work regardless. And so I'm not going to be judging people off of, okay, you had AI, you didn't have AI. I look at the quality. I look at the quality of the work. And judging by the sales in some people's shops, people are looking at the quality, their customers are looking at the quality of the work. So I don't want anyone to read certain comments and be off the cuff thinking, okay, well, I can't do this. Why? Make your own informed decision. Let's go with that. Make your own informed decision based off of what you feel, what you studied, what I've said, because that's based off of what I've studied and what I know about history. All I know is this: the Polaroid people are kicking themselves right now that said they just want to do Polaroid stuff. That's all that I know. The horse and buggy people, unless you're a specialty, because we still have horse and buggies, and they are crazy expensive. It's a specialty thing now. But the vast majority of the horse and buggy folks, they're kicking themselves right now too. Okay, so we have to make some choices about, how we feel about certain things. And that's about it for me. We're coming up at 20 minutes, and this is way longer than what I'd like to go ahead and do an actual video on. But last thought on this one: make your own choices. Don't let people influence you. Even myself, don't even listen to me. Like, do your own research, think about it yourself, and kind of go from there. And if you're someone who is like a new creator on Teachers Pay Teachers, and you are someone who's like, I can't get ahead because of all this AI, think about this too really quickly. AI is available to teachers now, okay? even in my district, they got us up here with Magic School, and we have free Canva to use for our lessons and everything else. It's not just the spammers you have to consider. You have to consider the fact that I'm not going to say most, a lot of schools are up in here creating stuff that you may have created that they would have bought from you that they can easily do right now for AI. Will everyone make it with AI? No, because sometimes teachers get tired. They're like, forget it. I'm in that category. So if that is you and you're like, I can't get ahead, and all you're doing is like basic stuff that people can make with AI, up your game, up your daggone game, and use AI to up your daggone game. Okay? I did another video, I'll link it below, about how to go ahead and create AI resistant products. It's possible to make them AI resistant. You can do that. Absolutely. I have some links below. Look at them at your leisure. But like, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. It is what it is. And as long as you're trying to make good quality stuff and you're trying to be you're being honest and above board about where it came from, most people will not care. Now, will some people care? Yeah, sure. Obviously, the two folks in my comments that were up in my comments, they care. Do they just hate AI? Are they just uninformed? I mean, who's to say? I don't know. I highly doubt we will ever meet face to face. That's the beauty and the terror of the internet. The good and the bad of the internet. It's one of those things. People can go ahead and like be in your actual face, and you can feel like you can kind of know them and kind of like guess about kind of how they are. And people make assumptions about you, and you kind of go from there. But that being said, if you're someone who's new, up your game. If you want me to help you out with upping your game, come see me at my membership. It's down below. If you're someone who's like, you know what, I want nothing to do with AI, that's cool too. Do you? And then hopefully you won't be like the Polaroid people or the people who, used to drive the horse and buggy and stuff like that. But AI is everywhere. Like I said, up in Photoshop, up in like the different devices, it's everywhere. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep rolling with it and go from there. I'm going to go ahead and help people be able to teach people how to be able to go ahead and add some extra cash, extra funds to their accounts to help take care of their families, do their thing, pay off their mortgage early, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to try to do the same thing for myself. And that's all I have. So I wish no one ill. I wish no one to lose business. I am a firm believer that there is enough business for everybody as long as we have our own things that we specialize in. And that be with AI or whatever the case may be. So that's it for me. I'm sorry this is so long, and it is quite late, so I'm going to try and get a little bit of rest here because popsicle day. All right, you be well, everyone.